What's stopping
And
you?
if I wanted to do it from my computer, could I?
Like if you were,
You have to be signed in as a town accountant.
Oh, yeah, you'd have to be,
Oh,
in-
you're not a guest, you're honest and amazing. So,
yeah, so you're on your account.
so click the three
And then I
dots.
just go there.
Yeah, totally. Oh, so apply background effects. That's what you asked me about?
Can I add my own picture? or-
Yes, I think so.
Okay. All right. Well, we have a form, so I'm gonna start doing.
Little grid button is what turns on the intelligent mode and then it zooms in.
Okay, so, why don't you guys look over the minutes? Barry, do you have the minutes
I do not.
for the last meeting?
You see him here?
I
Do you have this electronic? or
do.
You wanna, can you screen share? Or do you wanna,
Okay.
oh, maybe kind of small. So who else is just Lynn? Okay.
Yeah, she's not coming.
Yeah, she's away.
And then Mike and Olivia.
Okay.
Okay, so I have the minutes. I don't want to put the whole file, so I put it on a document like this. Okay, then how can I get that up?
Oh, so it's good.
Or make it smaller?
No, just make that work on full screen first of all. Just expand it
Okay.
and go back to Teams.
So then just share.
Click that thing with the arrow. The box without the arrow. Then you can find. It can share your whole screen and it'll share that documents. Slow.
I'm just trying to share the minutes. I kind of want to know how to do this now.
I can scan them to myself. This is me.
All right. So it says image requirements.
But you didn't, it didn't, you didn't close it. Yeah, it's the lead.
Okay.
Yeah, that has to come up with something, if it doesn't, then it's maybe a math problem. But I think again, so these could all be in like a shared folder.
The ultimate goal tool is to
Bill,
be able to log into that.
Bill started doing it with Concom, and it was working pretty good. He had them like trying to go, and it was like a link for everything.
Just spotlight for everyone here.
That makes you full screen. So like if Barry was doing a presentation remotely, I could make him take up the whole screen instead of just be a little dot. Except no, because no keeping this.
Did you scan it or something?
I did, but my computer is frozen.
And you use you do it on there?
Yeah, I think I need to close Teams. Back to this.
You put them up?
No, my computer, I just said reboot. I would say let's, if we want to wait for Barry to look at it, let's table this and come back to it. By the time I do this, I can
All right, we'll approve the meetings
get
minutes
it.
at the next meeting then.
Well, no, just like for 5 minutes and move on and come back to
Okay.
the agenda. So,
So we have 3 warrant articles. We have Article 13, which we have to pass over. It's that 10% article distributing the money, which we have to do every year, but we're doing it at the annual town meeting. So does someone want to make a motion?
Good idea. The state, requirement or whatever.
No, I don't know why we did it in November. Always we had to wait till the last minute, you know?
You needed to know what you were gonna have.
Yeah, so it's easier.
So if we do it at the annual, would be for the year behind.
well, so what Eric explained to us was that apparently you just make what is this do? You just make a projection. We don't actually have to vote on the official number. You just make a projection based on last year's estimate. You vote that, and if it's off by $5,000, it's just a
You just
down,
adjust it
It's
later.
not that.
So you fix it in November anyway.
I think it can be done without town meeting vote because it's a nominal amount. I forget the exact explanation now because it was so long ago, but there's some reason to not do it in November.
It's pretty accurate though, you know, when you take
Oh, yeah,
this
no, I
once a year,
just,
so,
that's why we did it in November, so you knew what you were talking about.
yeah.
Because in May, you don't.
Mhm. But you can estimate it, so.
Is this working?
Have you just shared your, outlook?
I can't see.
This would not be a good recording to share.
It's, that one there, no, third one down.
This one, yeah, that's what I clicked. There we go.
So,
So now Barry can see this hopefully.
can you see that, Barry?
Yeah, I'll read them right now.
Right.
Let me know when to scroll in.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to scroll. I can't scroll.
Yeah. I can put the document in there too in a second.
Go ahead and scroll. Slow down. Okay,
Again.
all right, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Hi. Sorry.
Okay, thanks. I had a question on the minutes. At some point, the historical commission wants to do some kind of engineering study on the records room.
Yes.
So it's at some point, the historical commission will come back.
How do we leave that?
Well, I think that,
Kathy, I'm just trying to remember. We had some guy come out and like walked us through, and then he's supposed to come out and do like a formal proposal on what it would cost. So I think in order to apply for the MPPF grant, you have to have an engineering study.
Mhm.
And so that's what this would be for. And I believe Kathy is working with him to give us a proposal for what that study would cost.
okay, and then you'll come back to the community.
Yeah,
Okay.
with the actual, you know, they don't want you just getting a grant without having a plan in place.
Okay,
Why would we use CPA administrative?
because you can use the administrative funding when you're collecting information on a project that you might fund with CPA funds. So you can do surveys, you can do assessments.
Take it out of the short
I think,
section.
I mean, you could,
Well-
but I mean, the historical,
yeah,
that gets drawn down because of the police station, so it's not like we have a lot of extra money in there anyways. But you could do that, but then you'd have to bring it to town meeting. And so that's why you can use the administrative funds that way, because sometimes you can't wait till town meeting to get an appraisal or do an engineering.
Well, the question has to be, what have you got to engineer to make it totally complicated?
it's that NPPF grant from the state, they are nuts. They will not give you a grant unless you have check all these boxes.
And there's also a lot of drainage issues there, so,
So, yeah.
I mean, yeah, like, really.
We met with the guy and walked through, I think, I mean, they got that one proposal to basically take out the floor, rebuild the entire substructure.
And do what with it after?
With that, I think that's part of this, is identifying the use, because there's no water, right now there's no water and sewer.
Right.
Ideally, you could fix it up and rent it out to, a law office or something, but you'd have to figure that part out too. At this point, though, I think it was just looking to stabilize the buildings. I think the floor is a little wavy.
All right. So let's go back to the motions. Does someone want to make a motion to pass over Article 13?
So, second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Then the next one is Article 15. To see if the town will vote to transfer some of money from the community preservation accounts to fund the cost of conservation, preservation, and archival storage of historic artifacts, documents, textiles, and clothing in the collections of the Historic Society, or act anything, or do anything in relation thereto.
So,
You want to make a motion, Dan?
oh yeah, so moved.
Second.
Okay. Discussion?
The final, so that this is what I wrote for town meeting. The society is working through their massive collections and identifying items in need of further preservation and conservation and proper storage. Rather than ask for a huge sum up front, they're requesting smaller amounts targeted towards specific projects as they come up. Previously, they requested $500 to purchase preservation materials. Those funds have been expended. This article is asking for additional funds for further preservation of these historical documents so they're available for future generations.
And $3,000?
$3,000.
Any questions or discussion?
I don't.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then Article 16 was for security cameras at the Lowell Memorial Field, but Dan wants to pass that over.
So moved.
Second.
That wasn't supposed to make it,
Yeah, either was 13, I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
confused. Eventually we're gonna come back, but we're not ready.
Any questions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That it?
That's it.
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye. Thanks, Mary.
Aye.
Aye.
Stop recording.
Come on,